If you've been desperately waiting for a true, original Final Fantasy game on iOS and Android, then I've got some bad news for you. MOBIUS Final Fantasy isn't it. Now, that's not to say it's a bad game though. In fact, it's an entertaining mobile RPG that makes clever concessions for the platform it finds itself on, mixing the Final Fantasy formula with a card battler to good effect. Now, I know when I said card battler just then, you all rolled your eyes and wandered off for a cry. But bear with me, because even people who loathe card battlers might find something they quite like here. The game sees you taking control of an Amnesiac Hero in a strange world. You wander along a linear path, hacking up enemies, gaining new skills, and generally becoming a tougher and more useful warrior as you do. You don't get to explore a wide universe full of nooks and crannies, you just fight monsters. Lots of monsters. There's a big focus on elements, and they're arranged in a rock, paper, scissors style swirl of strengths and weaknesses. Fire is good against water, etc, etc. You perform your basic tasks by tapping on the screen. Each round, to begin with at least, you get 3 moves. These can be sword swipes, offensive magic spells, or buffs that protect you against attacks. You'll also collect orbs. These power up your special moves, which are located to the right of the screen. They also let you use your buffs and heals, so you'll need to balance offense and defense to get the best scores in your scraps. Special attacks come in the form of collectible cards that you can upgrade with a fusion mechanic. There are loads to collect and a gacha machine to spin as well. Then there's a job system that lets you tailor your playstyle. There's a story, but it just sort of waffles on. Some people might find it interesting, but to be honest, it's told in teeny little snatches and it's almost impossible to keep track of what's going on, which is fine, because it doesn't really matter. There's already a lot mechanically going on in MOBIUS Final Fantasy, so much so that it's easy to get a bit overwhelmed when you initially start. Thankfully though, the opening stages are far from taxing, giving you plenty of time to experiment and adapt to everything the game throws at you. So no, MOBIUS Final Fantasy is not a fully fledged Final Fantasy game tailor-made for your mobile. But what it does do is fit a Final Fantasy game around a mobile-friendly framework. And to its credit, it does it pretty well. This isn't some mindless flashy fighter that you've got no input in. There are tactics to think about and different avenues of progression. If you're in any way interested, just download it and give it a go. You might find yourself pleasantly surprised.